Hey guys, here we are for our monthly market update with the Kim Mixon real estate team. And we're going to be talking with our local mortgage expert, Dustin Steele, as well. But I'm going to get us started on this beautiful Thursday. It is what, June 8th? We're going to do our market summary on how everything closed out for the month of May this year compared to last year, just kind of our quick stats to keep you in step with what's happening in the market. Long story short, we are very low inventory. We have been very low inventory for a couple of years. And the honest truth is that situation is not changing anytime soon. Part of what's driving the low inventory is the higher interest rates, because home sellers or homeowners who may be willing to sell at this point, but they have a 2, 3, even 4% interest rate. They do not want to sell and now pay today's rates, which Dustin's going to go through that. But, the average rate above 7%, unless you're buying down with points, Dustin's going to get a little more detailed with some of that. People are not wanting to sell their homes that they got at these great interest rates to only turn around and have to pay more than double what their current rate might be. So they're holding on, which is keeping inventory very low. And likely we won't see changes of any significance in inventory levels until we start to see rates come down some. So again, we'll be talking to Dustin in a minute, a little more about that, but I'm going to give you your monthly stats for how May closed out. We're going to start with Muscogee and Harris County. There were 250 closed sales for the month of May. Last year, the month of May, there were 319 closed sales. Average days on the market for May was about 44 days, and last year it was about 25 days. So we're definitely seeing a little more time on the market. We've seen that ticking up over the last several months. Average sales price for the month of May was $247,000. Last year, it was $266,000. So a little bit of a change there. The average price point came down a little bit from May this year, from May to May last year, but not anything. It's not an indicator of, oh my gosh, values are falling. It just happens to be that the price point, I think, is pulling back some on what we're seeing close out. Again, partly due to interest rates, the higher interest rates. So just to give you another quick comparison on average sales price, if you look at everything that has closed so far this year from January till the end of May for 2023 in Muscogee and Harris County, the average sales price was $244,000, and last year for that same time period, $252,000. So a little change, but not anything crazy high. Average sales price to list price percent this year, meaning what did it sell for versus what did it list for versus what it closed out for. This year for May, it was at 98.54%, and last year it was 99.48%. So you're seeing just maybe a little bit more negotiation that's happening, but nothing crazy significant. Right now, there are approximately 246 homes listed for sale, active listings in the MLS for Muscogee and Harris County. Last year, this time, it was about 281, so inventory is even lower this year than it was last year. Pending sales, we've got about 362 pending sales, and this time last year, it was about 520. So, we definitely have fewer sales going on, due in part to the lower inventory as well. Let's look at Russell and Lee County. For the month of May, there were 125 closed sales, and for the month of May last year, there were 157. So again, a little bit of a difference in number. Average days on the market was about 30 days. May last year, it was about 20 days. So again, seeing it tick up just a little bit, nothing too crazy. Average sales price for May was $268,000, and last year it was $252,000. So in Russell and Lee County, we've actually seen the average sales price go up a little bit from May to May. Again, we'll look at that same time frame, January 1 through May of this year. The average sales price on closed sales has been about $255,000, and last year for that same time frame, it was about $248,000. So again, in Russell and Lee County, we've seen that average price point go up just a bit, but it's still on par between Muscogee and Harris County, Russell and Lee County. I mean, they're running around the same average sales price year to year right now. List to sale price percent for Russell and Lee County for May was about 98.75, and last year it was 100.53. So we are seeing a little more negotiation happening on sales right now. So that's kind of our market summary for you on what happened in May. We are going to jump forward now and bring in Dustin so he can tell us more about interest rates. How's it going?
Great.
Awesome. So I sort of alluded that, where we are with interest rates, roughly at that, 7+%,
Correct.
unless you're buying down rates. So let's talk a little more about that.
Yeah, guys. So right now you can expect the average rate to be over 7%. Now I'm not saying almost 8, probably 7.125 or 7.25, and everything will, it's fluid, just depending on the loan type and what your credit profile is and the loan amount that you're purchasing at. But you can bet if you're not paying any discount that you are going to be at or really close or over 7%. Most people right now are paying about 1 discount point to get down to 6.25 on FHA and VA and 6.75 for the exact same discount on conventional.
Can you, and I might be asking a question that you need a calculator for. So if I am, don't feel bad. Just say, hey, I don't have those numbers on hand. No big deal, because I did not ask him to prepare for this question. Can you give us like an idea? If our average sales price is $250,000 range, right. And somebody is getting, conventional FHA, VA, whatever it is, what on average are they paying in addition for that discount point?
I would say, if you're buying a $250,000 house, 12 months ago, you probably would have been, if you're in, and let's just use Lee County, for example, you're probably going to be around the $7,000 range for total closing costs. That's a good average number. Right now, that's probably closer to 10.
Okay,
if
so
you're
roughly
financing
$3,000.
Yeah, if you're financing $250, that discount point's going to cost you $2,500. Okay. So it's increasing closing costs a good bit, which is it is making it tougher for a lot of people right now.
And that that leads to something we've talked about before. But we are not seeing, back in 2021, we were seeing people offer appraisal gap fees, offer to pay over list price, right. All of that. We're not seeing as much of that anymore, because buyers, the extra cash they had to pay an appraisal gap fee or to pay over, above and beyond list price and all
right.
of those things,
right.
They don't have that cash because they're now having to pay quite a bit more in closing costs to buy down these right. rates. So that's a factor of the rate right. environment as well. Even though we have very, very low inventory, there's still an element to what it's costing buyers that's impacting the negotiations.
Right.
Are you seeing on your contracts? I know what I see on our listings and our buyer side, we're seeing a little more negotiation of closing costs. Are you seeing more of that overall in the industry?
I would say right now the majority of the people that I have worked with need some sort of help with closing.
So some portion, and that's a negotiable amount. So, we're not going to throw out specific numbers because it really varies depending right. on time on market, right. number right. of offers, those types of things that play into how things get negotiated. But we are seeing a little more.
It's a little more.
A little more of that seller giving, correct. A correct. Contribution.
Which was really common right prior to 2020.
Yeah, it was very common. It was a given almost.
Yeah,
it was almost a given that you had to contribute towards closing costs prior to 2020. It's been right. since that market change that we've seen the difference. So, all right. Anything else interest rate wise that we need to be thinking about?
I would not be thinking they're going to fall quickly. We do have a 40-year high with inflation. It's not going to be fixed overnight. It is slowly trending down, but it will take time. And I think if you're someone that likes to watch, the inflation rates, and you want to watch unemployment, something right now I would pay attention to is just the unemployment rate. The Federal Reserve has made a big deal about that, and they believe that driving unemployment up will help us bring inflation down.
Which sounds crazy.
So yeah, for the first time,
Crazy that they would want to see unemployment go up, but
yeah, I mean, for the first time in maybe I know in my lifetime, I think of adding new jobs is making our rates worse.
Yeah.
So when you see, you see someone, oh, we've added 250,000 new jobs, that interest rates are going to go up. When you see that, it is going to be almost an instant kick to the bond market, and it's going to make rates rise. So unfortunately, we need a little bit higher unemployment before we start.
But don't go quit your job, because then you can't buy a house.
Yeah, we need your work. So.
Awesome. Well, that is our monthly market update for you guys. If you have any questions, you know how to reach us. My cell phone number, 706-332-6349. Dustin, what's the best way?
You can reach me at 706-405-6555.
Awesome. And we will be back. It'll be the end of second quarter. So in July, we'll wait till after July 4th week. We'll get back together with a market update, and we'll be talking about how the first half of the year has gone and what it's looking like, and maybe even, some predictions for the rest of the year and what we might be looking at to close out. I can't believe we're almost halfway through 2023, but we are. So fast. You guys have a great rest of the month, and we will see you next month for our July market update.
See you guys.
See ya.